I'm Coach Harrison. This year I had the pleasure of working with both the sophomores and JV. My title is the JV coach, but due to what happened, I actually got a chance to work with a lot of the sophomores, and I'm speaking on behalf of Coach Cassidy tonight. He had some family obligations, but the one thing I will say before we get into handing out these awards is, for those of you, a lot of you know Coach Cassidy is a teacher at the junior high, and he probably coached a lot of your kids when they were there. And he came on board really late because of the circumstances. But the one thing I talked to him about today is he wanted me to make sure that he told his team and let the parents know that one thing he learned from this season, he learned a lot from his players. And I think that's really special when a coach can say he learned from his players, because we're often in a position where we're the authority and we're trying to teach, and we're trying to teach, but at the same time, you want to have a good experience. And, he said he couldn't be here, but he really wanted me to relay that message, and I think we should give those guys a hand because they've been through a lot to deal with. These guys had one coach, and then he couldn't make it, and then Coach Cassidy came out. So if we could give a hand for the sophomore team right now. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to call out a couple names, and because I had the pleasure to work with a bunch of these guys, and we'll have something to say. First guy has a brother in the program. He's not as quick as him. He's probably a lot funnier. Probably one of the best passers in the program. Life of the party, definitely, if you don't know him. 00, Jared Ballou. He blames everything on rap music. All right, the next guy is not here, but he was one of the floor generals. Cameron Bacon. Next guy is one of the guys I talked to Coach Cassidy. He said he was one of his most improved players. Grew a lot in confidence. Ended up being one of the best shooters. Gave some quality minutes, played a bunch of positions for him. Jackson Bivens. All right, next guy is a really good student, probably arguably one of the hardest workers in the program. I don't think any coach up here will disagree with that. And I know Coach Franklin will back me on that all day. But this kid plays hard. He doesn't know any way but hard. Doesn't really give you a problem and just does what you ask him. Don Buchanan. Next guy we don't see was sophomore and JV guy, but he was really valuable, Spencer Coleman. Next guy, if I could, and I say this with all respect, if I could slap this kid in the head every day because he's so frustrated, but he knows that it's all out of love. He plays so hard, and then he'll turn around and make you want to say, "What are you doing?" But he plays so hard. He gave great effort. He even actually got to play a little bit of JV this year. Multi-sport athlete. We're going to work on trying to keep him around because he plays so hard. Josh Harris. All right, next guy not here, but gave good minutes. Lots of hustle. Probably the best dunker on the sophomore team, Doug Hilson. Next guy I do not see. It was also a sophomore JV guy, one of the hardest workers. Great attitude, great student, AJ Hood. guy we don't see, but he was also one of the valuable players on the sophomore team. He unfortunately was injured early in the year. That limited some of his time, but he gave great minutes and was a good player for the sophomore team, Oscar Knight. Next kid is also not here, but he's one of the kids who Coach Cassidy never had to complain about because he did what he asked and he was there to get better every day. And he improved a lot from the beginning to the end of the season. It's Kevin Meeks. Next guy, oh God, he falls into Josh Harris category. Good athlete. Sometimes you just want to smack him over the head, but you know he means well. We got to keep this kid in the program because he's also a kid with a tremendous upside. We can get him to keep working hard and keep a good attitude. He's somebody that could really help the program. Garen Pride. Oh, God. We got two of them out of the way, and you know, everybody used to watch TV, there's three Stooges. This is the third of the Stooges. He was, this kid right here is a tremendous athlete. He's probably one of the quickest kids in the program, one of the best passers. Sometimes Coach Cassidy had to get on this guy about, you know, hey, you got to watch who you're throwing to, because some of his passes he made, guys weren't ready for. But he showed tremendous improvement over the year. And hopefully we can keep him around too. He's the third of the Stooges, Kareem Alatif. Your sophomore team, 2007, 2008. Whoa, sorry. There's one, because of our late tournament run, sometimes we get our awards mixed up and we don't have all the awards separated, but there's another member of this team that's in attendance. He was a versatile guard. He's one of the other guys that also had to deal with injuries. He actually played on the bad knee, and I think he had surgery after the season. He fought through, and when he was out there, he gave some pretty good minutes, and we knew he was hurt, so he had a lot of heart to play this year. Brian Williams. All right, 2007, 2008 sophomore team.